doing. Today I'm going to give you an overview of my car. Before I say anything else, we are taking this car, myself, Zach and a few other friends, we are going on a road trip, I believe, to a drift meet or drift battle, or I don't know, something up in the Gold Coast or Brisbane or something like that. So I thought I'd do an overview about my car and what are some of the modifications I'm going to do by then, and what needs fixing, what doesn't need fixing. I thought I'd give you guys a good idea of what it looks like and how it drives, even though I'm not going to put any driving footage in this video, or maybe. Here it is a 1989 735i. The I means short wheelbase as opposed to the IL. The car is, I believe, BMW, some BMW car I can't pronounce properly. It has had some work done to it, mainly for maintenance reasons. So we've done things like we've done the gearbox, we've done the rear main seal, we've also done, we haven't done a timing chain yet, but that needs to be done pretty soon. But we've done radiator, water pump, viscous fan, a few other things. It is sitting on six wheels at the moment, but the idea is I might be looking to get a set of Simmons, I believe DP, they're here. Might go from 20s or 19s or something like that, just to give it a bit more appeal. And I'll probably go with yellow brakes just to fuck with people, even though, well, so you can't even see it there, even though the what looks to be factory brown is a bit interesting to look at. But it's done 301,000 miles, which is quite a fair bit. It's done 301,000 miles, which is quite a fair bit. And in case you guys are all wondering, the speedo is predominantly in miles, as well as the readout here. That's because the car was imported from England. It wasn't to my knowledge when my friend and I first bought the car, my friend being Tim buying the car and me buying off him after a while. We didn't realize it was from England until we saw that, which made it a little bit interesting. And being an English car, I believe I've had some issues with some of the electronics I'm buying in Australia, just because from bits and pieces of what I've heard, when you buy, you know, depending on what market you buy a car from, the electronics are very, very important as opposed to mechanical parts. So I'm having a few issues with that. So all the parts, electronic components anyway, that I'm buying are from England. Just to be on the safe side, I don't really want to buy, say, a TCM, transmission control module, for this particular car and find out it doesn't work. So you know what, so we're rebuilding the factory gearbox that's in the car that's out of the car at the moment. That's being sent away. I believe it should be done pretty soon. That's going to go in the car, and it should be mad. It is a 4HP 22. For those of you that don't know and don't really care, I bought the gearbox out of a 5 series without realizing that I'd have this electrical issue that I'm having now. But apart from that, the car's basically stock, and the interior of these old Beamers is pretty boring, I'll be honest with you. If you have a look inside, we got the factory, or correction, we have a non-factory stereo, just because the dash has been apart so many times. We've got bits coming off here. Being an old cars break down a lot, so we got a broken sunroof cover, but the sunroof still works. So we'll get some lights in here. I'm actually in my car park at the moment because I couldn't find a quiet place. So that's the interior, and you do have climate control and all your heating and fully adjustable seats for the front, which is quite interesting for a car this old. Most new cars, like my daily driver, didn't have both seats and in the front to be electric, only had the driver's seat. But funny enough, these seats are also electric as well, so that's pretty cool. So I won't bore you with it, but in case you guys don't know what memory seats look like, can't even see that. That's what going to see like. It does have electric seats. Now, being such an old car, it was sitting outside my parents' place for quite a while. So the paint on it has seen better days. At the moment, from a distance, it looks pretty good. But when you get up closer, just for example, the rear quarter panel, you have what I believe in the industry is called crow's feet. So if you guys look at the camera there, it's just peeling, flaking, the clear coat's coming off. There's not much that I can do about it that I've heard from all the car detailers and sprayers and panel beaters that I've spoken to. So it is potentially going in for a respray, or I think I might just go for the cheaper and more dramatic solution, and that is I might go for a wrap. I'm thinking of doing a kind of metallic primer grey, if that makes sense, and seeing how that goes. Who knows, maybe it might look good, maybe it might not. Let me know what you guys think I should wrap the car in, but for the moment it is just staying the factory color. Well, from a distance you can't really tell. It does have the factory brakes on it. These brakes are way too small for the car, in my personal opinion. When you get to a junction and a set of lights, you think twice about how hard you should push. And going back to the paints, as you can see here, we've got clear coat coming off here, and we've got a bit more clear coat coming off here, and it's left a shiny finish. Not really good for what we want, but it is what it is. So the idea is, for the road trip, we wanted to go. Well, I said to the guys, let's go on a road trip. We're going to take our cars. Zach's taking his R32 Skyline. I'm going to take my BMW, if it works. And we're also going to get Tina and I believe our old mate Axel in whatever car he has at the time, whether it be a BMW or a Holden or a bicycle, whatever he decides to buy at the time. We're going to take them all on a road trip. They don't know that we're going to the Gold Coast, but that's the idea at the moment. So we're going to go and just road trip. I believe we are going to take 4 cars for 4 people, because that's economically viable, if that makes sense. Although I would love to have 4 people in this car going for a road trip, but honestly, the aircon isn't working at the moment, and being in the back is fine, especially in the 7 Series. I don't think it's necessarily what we want to do. We want to go out, explore our cars a little bit more, and just see what just drive them, because that's what they're there for. They're our daily drivers. So under the bonnet of this car, if you guys don't know what a 735 is, it is actually a straight 6, contrary to belief. Most people do think it is a V8. From all the people that have been trying to buy the car off me, think it's a V8, but I correct them, no mate, it's a straight 6. Terribly sorry about that. I was a bit annoyed at myself when I found out it was a straight 6, but what an engine. So doing 301,000 miles is a little bit inconvenient for maintenance reasons, because everything is kind of broken. So in the next coming weeks, I'm gonna have to do the timing chain, and under the car a couple of weeks ago on the hoist, I found out that I'm also leaking coolant between the head and the main block. So that needs to be rectified in any way, shape or form. But we haven't really done much to it. As I said before, just for maintenance reasons. Like, there was a vacuum leak before, so we sort of just improvised, make sure the car doesn't leak anymore. And it also, when it had a vacuum leak, it made it really hard to start in the morning. You'd have to crank it for about 30 seconds for it to build up pressure. So since I've done that fix, it's helped it. And it's not the factory vacuum lines, but hey, it works. If it ain't broken, don't fix it. If it's broken, ain't worth fixing. But I had them lying around, and they kind of give a nice look to it. And making use of the workshop supplies, we got I don't know, they're brass, stainless, hose clamps everywhere. And also give the car basic service, top of the levels, check everything, just see how it went. There isn't much that we've done to the car, or correction, there's not much I'm going to have planned for the engine modifications. What I have decided is I'm going to put a set of, I believe, Shikro cams. So they're upgraded cams to give the car a little bit more of a get up and go feeling. We're also going to put a upgraded ECU. I don't remember what it's called, but I'll link it in the description. You guys can check it out. I've contacted some people at RHD Engineering, and I'm potentially, fingers crossed, going to get a set of individual throttle bodies. Me and a friend of mine have argued, do I need individual throttle bodies? No, I don't. But I think they're awesome, and I think they'll make the car sound awesome and give it a little bit more get up and go as well. But it being an automatic and the nature of the car, I don't know if it's a really good option. But that's just an idea of something that we might do in the future. And we're also going to do an exhaust as well. At the moment, I'm running the factory exhaust. Well, I believe it's factory, although it's a little bit loud to be factory in my personal opinion. So I am taking it down to, I believe it's a shop, exhaust shop in Maryland, just out in the western suburbs, and I'm going to potentially, the idea is to get a 3-inch dump all the way through with just resonators. This car didn't come with a cat. I don't think it came with a catalytic converter from factory. Being an English car, I don't know what all the laws are in England when this car came to Australia, so it's not compliant, I believe, with any of the laws that we had at the time of import. So it's a bit diddly, it's a bit of a grey area at the moment. And the lights are just turned out. So if I go from a distance, it looks nice like that. It does. I did want to get custom plates for the car, but you know, in New South Wales anyway, custom plates are rather expensive. So I've just gone off the rack. There you go, DAC 40M. We actually, when I was at the RMS, we actually thought about, hey look, it's DAC. DACom. DAC but DAC 4Com, whatever that means. And all my Chinese friends, when they jump in the car, correction, they won't jump in the car, because apparently 4 is a bad number in Chinese, or in the Chinese culture I should say, for bad luck. I've kind of had some bad luck with the car. But that's basically it. There's not really too much of the interior that I've more to show you guys, apart from a sagging roof line, which I don't think you guys want to see. But the lights are out, and I don't know how to turn them back on. But that is an overview of my car. And before I go, I think it's impossible to see in this particular light, but I am going to go for a sort of Michelin Pilot Sport 2s, I believe, to go on the car. Depending if I keep these Style 66 wheels on it. If I don't, I'm going to go for Michelin Pilot Super Sports, because it says Super Sports in the name, so it must be good. So I'm looking at getting a set of those. I'm going to ditch the I'm going to ditch the spare tire in the back, just because that's the factory BMW alloy from God knows how long. It's about 30 years old, so I'm going to ditch that. We are going to put, I believe, a fuel cell or a basic small fuel cell in the back, or might just use that as a extra storage space for maybe a fuel can or something like that. But we're getting pretty good at Common Beamer at the moment. Even with all those running issues, we're probably getting about 8-9 litres per 100 kilometres, cruising through area at 100 kilometres an hour, so that's pretty good. With the tank in the car at the moment, we probably get about, I want to say about 800-900 k's to a tank on the freeway. In the city, I can't tell you, because I don't remember. It's just appalling. I have to fill up a full tank probably, I'd take in half a week. And then being a 92 litre tank and fuel at $1.40 litre, it isn't cheap. So that's a bit inconvenient, but you learn to live with it. And so these wheels came with the car. They're actually for E39.5. I didn't know which sections to film, so do bear with me. So it does look like it's a little bit all over the place. But there's the car. That's the car that I'm taking up on our road trip. I don't know what the other's going to take. And it is a work in progress, so there's bits and pieces that are all over the place. The car's all over the place. But I bought this car for not too much money, and I bought it, I quite like it. At first I was a bit 50-50, but I love this car now, and it's a great car. And old cars break down a lot, but you learn to live with it. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you guys enjoy. Please leave comments below about what I can improve on in my videos. And I believe my next video, potentially there may be one sooner, but I'm going to downshift on the 13th of December. I believe it's a Friday or a Sunday. I actually don't remember. So I'm going to go into that. So check out my channel if you guys want to see that. That should be interesting. I believe my old mate Adam Lower is going. So he's going to go with his red Honda. We went to another car meet. I believe we went to the JDM Sydney meet, but my camera wasn't as good as I thought in the dark, hence why I'm ending the video now. So there is some footage of that, but I'm not even going to bother releasing it just because you can't see anything. It's way too dark. It's terrible. I got to buy a better camera. But anyway, I'm signing off now. Take care. Goodbye.